Welcome everybody. My name is Jessie Lane Lee, and I am a holistic nutritionist, cookbook author, and cooking class instructor. I am also the founder of jessielanewellness.com, which is where you're all viewing this live webinar from. So you found me. Today we're going to talk about healthy eating, my ultimate guide to healthy eating. So I'm going to give you 3 really easy healthy eating tips that are going to be really easy to incorporate into your life that is going to have a profound impact on your overall health. So I'm so excited to get started with that. I'm going to be jumping between seeing me and my slides, so you'll see a little bit of back and forth as well. So we'll go to our first slide here. And there you go. Awesome. So this is my ultimate guide to healthy eating. This is part 1. So part 2 is going to be taking place actually in August. So you'll see it there as at the bottom. You'll get info on that. So let's go to the first slide. So here's a quick little overview of what we're going to be covering today. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. We'll talk in great detail about what healthy eating looks like, especially when it comes to things like protein, fruits and vegetable, water, and that is it. I'm just trying to see if this is actually showing up or not. Are the slides changing for you guys? Looks like from what I see, the slide's not changing, which I'm not really quite sure about. But, Okay, we'll just do it this way. Now maybe you'll be able to see this. Gotta love technology, Okay. So I'm back, yay. Okay, so for some reason the slide didn't change, but let's see if I can go like this. Now they should be showing and I'll be able to scroll through my presentation. So, yeah, so that's the overview. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the end about my new cookbook, which is Healthy Fresh Salads. I'm super duper excited about it. It just came out yesterday. And then there'll be a summary of all the information. And as I mentioned before, please ask questions whenever you want to. It's really easy to do. All you need to do is scroll down and there's a question box. Just type in your question there. Awesome. So now I'll tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Jessie Lane Lee, and I am a holistic nutritionist, cookbook author, and founder of jessielanewellness.com, as I mentioned before. And I am a veggie lover, and I just love my veggies and I love my salads. And I've been like this pretty much my whole life. So when I was really young, I used to eat all my broccoli, which I used to call trees. And then I also used to make sure I was getting lots of veggies, which is really weird for a kid. I was doing this while my sisters were hiding their broccoli in napkins or throwing it into the backyard when they thought my mom wasn't looking. This is a real story. And she actually was looking. She saw it happen through the window and like laughed her head off. But anyway, so I've always loved my veggies. When I was in university, I always tried to be really healthy. So I did a lot of cooking my own meals. And of course, when you're in university, you're really busy. So you got to start managing your time. And that's where the second part of this webinar in August gets into the time-saving tips. But today we're really focusing on healthy eating and how that's so important for your life. And this is something that I'm always working on with my clients. I really love working with people who come to me because they're just not sure how to get healthy eating. They know they need to do it, but they don't know what it looks like. There's so much misinformation out there in the media that it's really hard to know what healthy eating actually is. So I really make a point of helping my clients, guiding them on this path. And what I'm giving you today, again, I'm just going to make it really simple. We're only talking about 3 things because I want it to be easy for you to take these things on, to try them out, and see the benefits from doing them. If you work with me one-on-one, then we do a lot longer. So usually I like to work with clients for about 3 months where you have a long-term plan about how we're going to attack these things, how we're going to get your health back on track, and what's going to work the best for you. So I'm going to go to my next slide now. That's a little bit about me. And now I'm going to ask you guys, what does healthy eating look like to you? So now it's time to go to the chat. So scroll down and let me know, what is healthy eating to you? For everybody, it could be something different. So I'm always really interested to hear what works best for you guys. So if you want to add into the comments what healthy eating looks like for you, and then we can go on to what it looks like for me and what it can look like for you. Awesome. I'm not seeing any comments, so I'm going to move right on, but I'm sure they will catch up with me as we keep going, because that tends to happen. So for me, as I mentioned, we're really focusing today on protein, fruits and veggies, and water. So these things are the easiest things to fit into your diet. Oh, great, we have a comment that says healthy fats and veggies. Yes, I love healthy fats. I'm not going to talk about them today, but they're so, so important to include in your diet. And veggies, yes, totally love veggies. Limiting processed foods, someone else is saying. Yes, processed foods do nothing for our health. They're full of chemicals and additives and preservatives that just aren't going to help us out very much at all. Having a balanced meal, someone else is saying. Yes, balanced meals are so important. And today we're going to talk about what a balanced meal looks like, which is awesome. So we're focusing today on, again, protein, fruits and veggies, and water. So for protein, I always tell people you want to aim somewhere around 3.6 grams of protein per pound of body weight. So if you think about how much you weigh, you can whip out your calculator or maybe your phone, do that calculation and figure out how much protein you need every day. For most people, that's around 45 to 60 grams a day. The next thing we're going to get into a lot of detail with is fruits and vegetables. We all know we need to eat them, but I really want to enforce why they're so important. So when I talk about fruits and veggies, I really recommend that every meal, about half your plate is fruits and vegetables. That's a lot, a whole half of your plate. And then the last one we're going to talk about is water. I recommend at least 2 liters of water every day. Water is so important and plays a vital role in pretty much all of our bodily functions. So that is why I always recommend it to all just chronically dehydrated. So the first one is protein. So here you have a beautiful picture. This is my lemon basil chicken. Super, super simple recipe, ready in under 10 minutes. It cooks that fast under broil. You can find it on my website. And the reason protein is so important is that it plays a huge role in our overall health. It plays a role in our blood, our skin, right? If you don't eat a lot of protein, you'll start seeing wrinkles. You need protein to help with smooth, strong skin. And our muscles and our bones. So when we're working out a lot, we need protein to repair the minor tears that happen as a result of working out. And it's good these happen because this is the way our body gets stronger, but we need protein to make sure that it can repair and build those muscles. In our hormones, protein plays a huge role in hormone development. It also plays a big role in the immune system. So if you're not getting a lot of protein or you're anemic, you may find yourself getting sick and getting colds quite often. And then the last one is enzymes. So you need digestive enzymes to help digest your food. And to have that, you really need to have a lot of protein so you can easily digest your food. So how do we get that protein? So I'm going to talk about different ways to get protein at breakfast, snack, lunch, and dinner. Hello, I'm back. So if you're looking to get protein in your breakfast, this is one that people sometimes struggle with depending on what your day looks like. So if you are an egg person, if you follow a vegetarian or paleo or whatever diet, eggs are a really great way to get protein into your diet. So 1 egg is about 12 grams of protein. So that's a pretty good start there. So if you have 2 eggs, you're about 24 grams at breakfast. A lot of us just don't have time to make eggs in the morning. I mean, they're not the fastest thing to make. So what I recommend is doing something like a bunch of hard-boiled eggs. You can hard-boil a whole ton of eggs on the weekend and then have them grab and go, ready to take with you on the run in the morning. You can also make a whole tin of like little mini quiches. And I have a recipe for gluten-free quiche on my website that makes a delicious breakfast because it tastes really good cold, so you don't have to heat it up every morning. So I love doing that for a quick, easy egg morning. And then if you have more time, you can do something like omelets and fried eggs over greens and stuff like that. If you follow a vegan diet or just don't really care for eggs, incorporating protein powder into your breakfast is a really great way to get that protein. So I always recommend looking for a really good, high-quality, plant-based protein powder and making sure it's really clean because you don't want it to have tons of those filler ingredients. If you have a really good protein powder, you can add that to smoothies. A trick I like if you're a cereal person is you can actually take your milk, whisk the protein powder into that, and then put your cereal on because then you're going to have protein with your cereal, and that's going to keep you full all the way to lunch. So that's why protein is so great in the morning too. It keeps you full through the day. If you've ever had just like cereal or toast in the morning, you may have found you were hungry maybe 2 hours later. Whereas if you add protein to that meal, it's going to last a lot longer. And most protein powders are about 21 grams of protein per scoop, so pretty good yield there. For snacks, a great way to fit protein in, especially if you're working, is using nuts and seeds. Now again, some places are nut-free, but for those who aren't nut-free, I really recommend just a nice raw nut trail mix. So you can go to a bulk store, get some almonds, some cashews, some walnuts, mix them all together, maybe add some goji berries or something like that in there. And you can make a nice big thing of it and just keep it in your desk because it's not going to go bad. And then it's not something you have to think about every single day to remember to bring a snack. So that's what I really like to do, and that's what I did when I was working before I became a nutritionist, because now this is where I work, which is my home. When we get to lunch, oh, I have a great question here. Could you recommend a good protein powder? Yes, I really like Sun Warrior, makes a delicious protein powder. Vega is another one that I really like, and Garden of Life. So those three are my favorite taste-wise and ingredient-wise. Both have kind of different things, and you have to kind of see what you're looking for. Sun Warrior has a really nice brown rice protein powder that doesn't have a lot of ingredients, so if you tend to have food allergies, it's a good choice. The other two have a few more ingredients, especially the Vega, because they blend all these superfoods and stuff in there. So if you're someone with allergies, I would say stay away from the Vega and stick to the simpler ones. But those are my three favorite, for sure. So if we're looking at lunch, my favorite thing to eat at lunch is salad. I love salad. I actually worked as an engineer for 7 years, and throughout those entire 7 years, I had a salad for lunch every single day, which works out to 1,700 salads. That's a lot of salads. So I got really good at making salads, and that's why my cookbook that came out today is all about salads, because I had so many salad recipes, I just had to share them. So I really like salads for lunch because then you get that fruit and veggie, which we're going to talk about next, but you can also get protein in there. So you really need to add protein to your salads to make them a full meal that's going to sustain you. So if you add something like a half a cup of beans to your salad, you're going to get about 20 grams of protein. So again, pretty good amount there. And then the last one is dinner. Fitting protein into dinner can be a lot easier for people because you kind of picture like the meat and potatoes on your plate. So if you're looking at chicken, it's about 32 grams of protein for like a small 4 to 5 ounce piece of chicken. And if you want quinoa, about a half a cup of quinoa is 24 grams. Or maybe a half a cup of quinoa. 1 cup of quinoa is 24 grams. So that's a really great way to get protein in through your day. And if you take all of those examples and add them all up together, that's about 70 grams of protein. When all you really need is 45 to 60. So you can skip protein in one of those places and still be totally fine. But I do really encourage you to try to incorporate somewhere some protein in everything you eat because that's what's going to keep you full during the day. Okay, so we're going to go to the next slide. We talked about our protein. The next one is fruits and vegetables. I love fruits and vegetables. So delicious. And they are so important to have lots and lots of them in our diet. And the reason is because fruits and vegetables are really high in phytonutrients, which are things like antioxidants, things that help on all bodily systems. On top of that, they have tons of vitamins. We all know we need our vitamins. They have minerals and they have fiber as well. And fiber is so important because that's what keeps us moving, keeps everything flowing, right? So my recommendation is to eat 5 different vegetables and 2 different fruits every single day. And the reason I recommend this is because oftentimes we just forget and we don't get enough fruits and vegetables. So if you try to eat at least 5 a day, then you're going to get enough for sure. So coming back to me now. Hello. So the way to get these into all your meals, if you're looking at breakfast, pretty easy. Fruits fit in really well at breakfast time. So that could be a smoothie with your protein powder. Great way to fit it in. I do challenge you though to put veggies in your smoothies. If you're new to it, spinach, throw that in a smoothie. You're not going to taste it. It blends up really nice and smooth and doesn't have much flavor. But it's a nice way to add that green, that chlorophyll into your smoothies. Another way to get some more veggies at breakfast would be doing maybe sauteed spinach with a fried egg on top. That's one of my favorite breakfasts. Super easy to make. If you're rushing in the morning, maybe not, because you got to kind of get 2 pans dirty and then do dishes. But if you have some time or on the weekend, really great way to do it. Other ways to fit it in, if you're kind of a cereal person, again, you can just throw some berries, nice blueberries. Strawberries are in season right now. They're amazingly sweet. Highly recommend you get some. You can just throw them in there. Super, super easy. When we're looking at snacks, I really love the combination of veggies and hummus. Who doesn't, right? Hummus is so good, so easy to make, and pretty cheap to buy if you're strapped for time. So you can do like carrots and hummus, celery and hummus, cherry tomatoes and hummus, stuff like that, really easy to do. And you don't have to do so much preparation. If you're buying organic carrots, you don't even have to peel it. You can just literally cut off the 2 little ends and stick it in a big container. Don't bother cutting it into sticks, because who cares? You're going to double dip. Just make sure it's only you eating out of that container, because you don't want someone else to go in and you've been double dipping. Same with celery. You don't need to chop it up. Just cut off the 2 ends and give it a good wash, especially if it's organic, really fast. Cherry tomatoes, don't really have to do anything to. So that's why I love those 3 things with hummus. And the hummus is important here because then you're getting that protein. Apples and peanut butter, apples and almond butter, another winning combination. Because then you're still getting the protein and you're getting the fruit. For lunch, salad. That's kind of a no-brainer. Tons of fruits and veggies and salad. Such a great lunch. When I was working, I used to make a big batch of my whole lunch on Sunday, and then I'd eat it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then Friday, I'd usually just kind of take leftovers or figure out what I had or throw together a really quick and easy salad. Because if you store salad without the salad dressing, it does really last that long. So some salads, if they're kale salads, they'll last the full 5 days, which makes it really easy to do. So the next one is getting your fruits and veggies into dinner. Now, this can be a little bit counterintuitive for some people because they say, yeah, I eat veggies at dinner. But when I say eating them at dinner, I really want you to picture your plate, and half of that plate should be vegetables. So right now, usually people have half that plate being a carbohydrate and then a little bit of meat and a little bit of veg. But I want you to be mostly veg, a little bit of carbs, and a little bit of protein. Well, not a little, but a chicken breast is like 32 grams, so that's a lot of protein. So just making sure you have half of your plate veggies for dinner. So again, salad, another great place to put it. We also do something like steamed broccoli, super fast, super easy. Sauteed chard, that's what we had for dinner tonight. It was delicious. You just cut up your Swiss chard, saute it with a little bit of oil, and add some apple cider vinegar, salt and pepper right at the end. Oh, it's delicious. So, so yummy. So it doesn't have to be time consuming, but you want to make sure to get those 5 veggies and 2 fruits a day, you got to get them in there somewhere. And with a salad, easiest way to do it. I love salads. So the next thing on this list is water. Water is so, so important. Whenever I get to this point, I always take a sip because I'm always so thirsty. Ah, delicious. Water is a primary component in almost every bodily function. It's involved in our detoxification system, so urine, sweat, all of that great stuff. It plays a big role in digestion to create all of our digestive juices. In our brain health, if you've ever found you're really dehydrated, you almost get that fuzzy brain. I know when I'm really thirsty, I start slurring my words. No word of a joke. It's very odd. But anyways, water is so, so important to fit into your day. Now, many people find that water is just not something they want to be eating. They find it is boring or tasteless, or they just don't like it. So I'm going to give you some tips that will help you remember to drink water and remind you that it doesn't have to be boring. So to make sure it's not boring, you can see the picture I have here is my mojito iced tea. This is a recipe that's on my website as well. And it's literally just, I took some mint tea, made a huge batch of it, threw it in some lime juice. I have a couple mint leaves for decoration. Done. It's a really good way to stay hydrated, but with some flavor. You want to stay away from caffeinated teas and coffee, because even though, yes, coffee is made with water, it's a diuretic. So the problem with that is that it actually pulls liquid out of your body. So it's not going to be doing you any favors. The other thing you want to think about is different ways to flavor it that are really quick and easy. If tea is just too much for you, adding citrus to your water is a good way to do it. You want to make sure you don't do that too often because it can start to damage your enamel, so something to think about. Adding herbs, really great. You can just throw some fresh basil, some fresh mint, cilantro, whatever you've got into your water bottle and just keep on filling it during the day and it'll get a really nice flavor. Berries are another great one. You can throw some berries, muddle them a bit, and then you get like fruity water without the extra like food colorings and aspartame and weird stuff and like the packaged stuff you buy in the store. So that's a really easy way to do it. So easy. And to remember to drink water, I always recommend having it on you at all times and keeping it within eyesight. So I like to put mine right beside my computer. So I always see it. And if I see it, I'm going to remember to drink it. Out of sight, out of mind. If your water is somewhere else, if you have it, maybe you just drink a glass and leave it in the kitchen or leave it in the kitchen at work, you're not going to drink enough water. But having something with you at all times is going to be helpful. So it maybe even like in a container, like one of those stainless steel or glass containers. I told you guys, I always get so thirsty at this part, talking about water. And it's really important to listen to your thirst signals too, because so many of us just learn to ignore it. And by the time we're thirsty, we're already dehydrated, which is a big problem. So hydration is key. So if you need some inspiration for all of this stuff, especially the veggie section and the protein as well, my cookbook, which I mentioned, just came out. So exciting. It came out today. It's called Healthy Fresh Salads. Now, this has over 30 salad recipes. They're veggie packed and they're nothing but boring. I made sure that they were really interesting recipes because I know that the average salad from a bag with a little bit of dressing is just not fun to eat. It gets boring really fast. So I included a lot of these recipes that are interesting. A lot of them are good enough to be a full meal. So they're packed with protein, packed with healthy fats, which we didn't really talk about, and of course packed with fruits and vegetables. It also contains a lot of information that's going to help you keep on moving forward on your health journey. So I talk about genetically modified organisms. This is something that we hear a lot about nowadays. So we talk about what they are, why I think we should avoid them, and how we can do that without spending tons of money. So there's a whole section about saving money, and you've seen a little sneak peek of it in my free guide to healthy eating, which you received when you signed up for this webinar. So you can start there, but there's lots more information in the cookbook as well. I also talk about how to properly clean your fruits and vegetables. So if you aren't buying organic, you really got to clean them to get those pesticides off, because pesticides are just not something we want to be eating. I give you my ultimate guide to creating salads, so making sure that you can start building your own salads, but keeping the ingredients really clean, balanced, protein, how to put that together so it tastes absolutely delicious. And of course, there's salad recipes. So there's over 30 recipes. All of them are gluten-free. A lot of them are vegetarian, vegan, paleo, don't have soy, don't have sugar, really healthy, hearty, creative, exciting salad recipes. You can tell I love my salad. So if you're interested, if you scroll down, you can see more information about the cookbook. It just came out today, so exciting. The digital copy is $7.99, so a very small investment for your health, but with all those recipes, you'll be able to feed yourself lunch for a while. I don't know how many days that is, but it's a really, really great place to start for that. And they're all just, oh, so delicious. Every single recipe has a picture, so you know exactly what you're making, which is also really nice because you know what the final outcome is going to be. So I'm going to do a quick little overview of what we covered today, just to make sure that everybody remembers it, because I just kind of talked about my cookbook for a bit. So we talked about protein and how you want to eat 45 to 60 grams every single day. But you can do that really easily with breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, making sure you put protein in all of those. We talked about eating at least 5 different veggies and 2 different fruits every day. And this is going to make sure you have a lot of variety in your diet. You're getting a variety of phytonutrients with all the different nutrients and colors with all your vegetables. And then you're also going to have to drink 2 liters of water every day. And we talked about why that's so important for the health of your entire body. And drinking the water is probably the easiest thing you can do, but I find my clients get the most results from that, because We're all so dehydrated, and water just plays such a huge role in everything that it's so important to remember to drink lots of water. So now I have a challenge for you guys. What I want you to do is try at least one of those things. So adding protein to every meal, 5 veggies, 2 fruits, or drinking more water. And I want you to try it for the next week. So commit to it, and then let me know how it goes. So you can send me an email to info@jessielanewellness.com and let me know how that went for you. But before we end, now I want to hear all about it. So I want you to go down to the comments and let me know what you're going to try out of those 3 things. Because if you declare publicly what you're going to be trying, you're more likely to actually follow through with it. So you can go down in the comments and let me know. Fantastic. Someone says, thank you. What a wonderful webinar. Oh, you're so sweet. Super information. You can't wait for the next one. Yes, and you bought the cookbook. Fantastic. I hope you enjoy it. I do love salads, and I'm so excited for you to go salad crazy too. It's so much fun. So the information for the next webinar is, again, just below. It's going to be all about healthy eating while saving time, because we're all strapped for time. We could all use more time. So that one is going to be August 9th. And if you scroll down below, you'll be registered and you'll get all the emails and you'll get the replay. So you'll be in the loop with everything that is going on. So is anybody going to tell me what you're going to commit to? You want to put it down below. Do it publicly. Then you're going to actually do it. Protein, fruits and veggies, or water. Either way, all of them are such a great thing to do. And don't forget to check out my cookbook. The information is below, and it's also at jessielanewellness.com/healthy-fresh-salads. And there's a dash between all of those things. So you can pick that up. The digital copy is only $7.99. So very small investment for lots of salads. So you can go salad crazy. Awesome. We have people who are doing water. Good one. I love the water one. Whenever someone says that, I get thirsty, so I take a glass. Cheers. Fruits and veggies. Well, the cookbook's going to be so helpful for that. In the summer, this is the time of year to do it, right? Get those fruits and veggies going. Everything is so fresh at the markets. I love it. Drinking water, lots of infusion suggestions. Yeah. What are your suggestions? I love to hear what you like to do. For me, I usually do berries and the herbs. That's my favorite. I'm also just obsessed with iced tea. I have some in the fridge now. So what I do is I just boil the water, put the tea bags in at night, leave it overnight. In the morning, iced tea. So easy. Healthy eating is feeling good. That's what I like to hear. I know. You feel so good when you're eating on track, especially in the summer where like bathing suits and bikinis come out. It's nice to be eating healthy because then you feel good in your skin, good in your body. You have tons of energy. It's definitely the way to go. Yes, someone else is eating more veggies and trying to add more non-animal protein. That's a great one. So sources of non-animal protein that I like are quinoa, love it. Beans, really good. Nuts and seeds, other great options. Soy can also be good, just making sure you buy organic soy, because I talk about in my cookbook how non-organic soy, almost all crops in Canada and US are genetically modified. So it's really important to try to get it in the organic form. Those are all really great. Also, tempeh is really good. If you buy organic tempeh, you can barbecue it. It's the summer. Oh, it's just delicious. Highly recommend it. So we're going to wrap it up here. If you guys have any more questions, I'll stick around for a little while to answer them. But for those who need to go, thank you guys so much for coming. Again, my name is Jessie Lee, and I'm so excited for the next webinar that's going to be at August 9th, and that talks all about time saving. So good night.